In 2025, you might want to prepare for an impending collapse. Every convenience store, from 7-Eleven, Wawa to Pilot Flying J, once the silent lifelines of American communities, are now at risk of disappearing at any moment. This collapse is not just a business issue, but a clear warning sign. The daily lives of ordinary Americans are on shaky ground. Stores that were once open 24/7 now shutter by 6 p.m. The friendly employees, who used to greet you each morning, have vanished. These once familiar stops now stand empty, dusty, and eerily silent. A disturbing new reality creeping into the subconscious of millions of Americans. In today's video, we explore 10 major U.S. convenience store chains that were once central to American life, but now stand on the edge of collapse. This content is sourced from the press, market data, community insights, and social observation. Our goal is not to accuse or blame, but to paint a multi-dimensional picture so you, the viewer, can reflect and form your own opinion. Stay until the end. The last name on the list might be a store you visited yesterday, and there's no guarantee it will still be there tomorrow. Number 1. 7-Eleven, a crumbling cornerstone. For decades, 7-Eleven has been an indispensable part of American life. Not luxurious, not flashy, but always there. Whether it's a cheap cup of coffee after a long shift or a place to shelter from the rain, it has been a daily refuge. But in 2025, that trust is cracking. A wave of mass closures has hit California, Illinois, and New York. Stores that were once open all night now close by 7 p.m. For shift workers, middle-class consumers, and low-income families, this is a devastating change. A former customer shared, "I used to stop by every morning, grab a coffee, and talk with the cashier. But last week, I saw a for lease sign, no warning, no farewell, just gone." For many, 7-Eleven was a place to grab affordable groceries close to home. Now, they have to drive extra miles, if they even have the money for gas. The elderly, who once relied on the store's accessibility, now find themselves surrounded by empty streets and shuttered windows. Meanwhile, the wealthy remain unaffected. They order online, buy from high-end retailers, and rarely visit these chains. But for the working class, the loss of 7-Eleven is the loss of the last affordable option. It's not just consumers. Employees, including students working night shifts to pay tuition, are being let go. A worker shared, "I've worked nights for 5 years. I knew the drivers, the regulars. Then one day, I was told, no more night shift." Just like that, 7-Eleven is not just shutting down. It's pulling away from the people who need it most. Number 2. Wawa, the heart of the Northeast, is fading. If you're from the northeastern U.S., the name Wawa is more than a store. It's a part of daily culture. For drivers, students, and shift workers, it was the go-to spot. But by 2025, that legacy is crumbling. Many stores in Philadelphia, Baltimore, and New Jersey have already closed. Others have reduced hours, cut staff, or even hired armed security. Wawa is no longer a place to grab a quick meal at midnight. It's becoming a place people avoid. One resident said, "I used to get a hoagie and coffee at 1 a.m. and chat with the cashier. Now, even at 7 p.m., the store's empty. The staff barely looks up." Wawa was once the elevated 7-Eleven, known for friendliness and comfort. But under the weight of rising costs, staff shortages, and fierce competition, it's losing its core, that sense of belonging. People without cars can't just drive 10 miles to a supermarket. They can't afford to shop at Whole Foods and aren't catered to by the latest retail tech. Workers who once relied on a $5 hoagie now wonder, will Wawa be open tomorrow? Even employees feel the change. Once proud to wear the uniform, they now face reduced shifts, shrinking paychecks, and a fading sense of dignity. If Wawa is being pushed out, what will be left for ordinary Americans? Number 3. Circle K, fading lights in the night. You may not remember your first visit to Circle K, but you might remember your last. One customer recalled, the sign was flickering, the shelves were bare, and no one said hello. That was the last time. In 2025, the low-cost model that Circle K built its success on is failing. Dozens of stores have closed in Texas, Arizona, and Ohio, once its core markets. Branches that remain are cutting hours, slashing staff, and becoming less populated. Why? Because people have found faster, safer, more digital options. For the wealthy, the closure means little. They have Instacart, premium gas stations, and high-end groceries. But for night shift workers, security guards, factory employees, and delivery drivers, Circle K was more than a store. It was a place to grab a quick bite, to rest, to feel a moment of safety in the middle of the night. Without it, they lose more than a service. They lose a part of their daily survival. In areas with no Whole Foods, no Trader Joe's, no upscale alternatives, Circle K was a lifeline. Now, these workers have to drive farther, spend more, or skip meals entirely. Number 4. Casey's. Small towns, big dependents in small rural towns where the nearest Walmart is over 30 miles away. Casey's is not just a gas station, it's a lifeline. Located in the far corners of Iowa, Nebraska, and Missouri, Casey's has been one of the last standing symbols of access to food, fuel, and a sense of community. From cheap pizza slices to grocery basics, this store has kept life moving for farmers, single parents, and low-income workers. But now in 2025, even Casey's is faltering. With fuel prices rising, labor shortages, and unfair competition from delivery platforms, more than 400 Casey's stores are under threat of closure or reduced hours. When these doors shut, it's not just a shop disappearing, it's an entire town's rhythm breaking. Delivery drivers, elderly residents, and university students who rely on the store are now abandoned. And yet, the upper class remains silent, unaware of the struggles in towns they'll never visit. If Casey's collapses, what's left for rural America? Number 5. Speedway. Refueling the forgotten for long-haul truckers, delivery workers, and travelers. Speedway was more than just a refueling station. It was a sanctuary, a place to grab coffee, rest, or feel a sense of human connection. But after its acquisition by 7-Eleven, many Speedway locations in Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Kentucky have either closed or lost their identity. The wooden tables, the friendly staff, the public restrooms, all gone. The few that remain are now just cold, automated shells of their former selves. No press covers it. No one mourns it but the people who actually depended on it. And so, as luxury EV charging stations rise for the wealthy, Speedway disappears silently, taking with it yet another part of working-class America. Number 6. Cumberland Farms. New England's lost corner store in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, Cumberland Farms was not just a convenience store, it was a daily ritual. Whether grabbing a quick coffee, bread, or just stopping in to say hello, Cumbies meant comfort without cost. But post its acquisition by EG Group, that warmth is fading. Many stores in Vermont, Maine, and Connecticut have either closed or transformed into something unrecognizable. A once loyal customer shared, "I came back after years." No familiar barista, just cold lights and silence. What was once welcoming is now sterile and distant. And as Whole Foods, Amazon Go, and home delivery services rise, those without money or access are left behind. Again, if Cumberland Farms, the people's farm, can't survive, then where can the poor go? Number 7. Sheetz. Comfort food turned corporate casualty in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio. Sheetz was where workers found their morning coffee, their budget-friendly lunch, and even a brief mental break from hard days. Now, in 2025, Sheetz is struggling with rising costs, staff cuts, and branch closures, even in major towns. Night shift workers, truck drivers, and construction crews now face longer drives, more expensive options, or no food at all. As the elite flock to upscale stores, the poor lose even the bare minimum. Sheetz is not just a store. It's a symbol of working-class comfort, and its disappearance is yet another sign of social injustice taking deeper root. Number 8. Quick Trip, a lifeline store in places like Texas, Arizona, Oklahoma, and Georgia, known for quality service, reasonable prices, and a friendly community vibe. For millions of Americans, Quick Trip is more than a fuel stop. It's where they grab breakfast on the way to work, pick up essentials after a long shift, or catch a breather during long interstate drives. But by 2025, Quick Trip is scaling back, quietly retreating from rural areas and low-income neighborhoods. Why? Because maintaining stores in struggling regions no longer fits the corporate bottom line. Many Quick Trip locations are being replaced by automated stations with no human staff, no warm greetings, no community interaction. The places where someone once said, "How's your day?" have now become cold vending zones run by machines. A retired veteran from Tulsa shared, "I used to talk to the same lady at Quick Trip every morning. Now, there's no one there. Just a touchscreen asking me if I want extra ketchup." In a world turning robotic, Quick Trip is being lost, and with it, a bit of the human connection rural America depended on. Number 9. Circle K, one of the largest convenience store brands in North America, was once a symbol of everyday affordability for the average American. You'd find Circle K on every other corner, serving communities from Florida to Arizona, Ohio to Nevada. But even Circle K is not immune. By 2025, hundreds of Circle K branches are being shut down or sold off, especially those in low-income, high-crime, or rural areas. The corporation is now repositioning itself toward higher-end markets, leaving behind the neighborhoods that once depended on it. A single mother from New Mexico said, "I used to walk to Circle K to get milk and diapers. Now I have to take a bus ride just for the basics." These are not isolated stories. They are echoes of a quiet collapse taking place in low-income America. When Circle K disappears, so does the last affordable stop for fuel, groceries, or a simple snack. And while those in the suburbs can drive farther, and the elite can order whole foods to their door, those who used to rely on Circle K are left staring at abandoned storefronts and locked doors. Circle K was once the everyman's store. Now, it's becoming a memory in the parts of America where it's needed most. Number 10. Cumberland Farms. Cumberland Farms, a name that once stood for affordable essentials and small-town heart, is fading fast in 2025. Rooted deeply in New England, especially in states like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New York, Cumberland Farms was the go-to store for generations. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't corporate cold. It was familiar, friendly, and affordable. Farmhouse coffee, fresh sandwiches, and that $1 gallon of milk became a ritual for the working poor, seniors, and families living paycheck to paycheck. But by 2025, the chain is downsizing aggressively. Many stores are being bought out by larger competitors or simply closed with no replacement. The company's urban retreat strategy means smaller towns, where folks don't have delivery apps or big-name chains, are the first to lose access. An elderly couple in Vermont told local news, "We've walked to Cumberland Farms every day for 12 years. Now the closest store is 20 miles away. We don't even drive anymore." And here lies the heartbreak. Cumberland Farms was never just about food. It was about routine, community, and reliability, a place where you didn't feel small, even when your wallet was. Its loss is a gut punch to elderly citizens, rural families, and low-income Americans who now face yet another door shuttered in their face. In the places where people have the least, they're being left with nothing at all.